Hello guys, and welcome to this new weird video where we're going to review a trainer RC airplane. Yeah, no, I've done that in the past several times. Like 2 times, I think. Or maybe 1? Well, I don't know. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to review another trainer airplane. So, let's get started. We're going to be taking a look at the TrainStar Epoch. This airplane is cheaper than the TrainStar Ascent, which we reviewed some time ago, and you can check that video in the description below. For this kind of airplanes you need to have your own radio equipment. But let's compare the price with these other airplanes that we also review in the channel. Look at this. Of course, these smaller models have everything you need to start. They include the radio control, and they also have some stabilization. So you don't need to buy any extra radio or receivers or batteries because everything comes included in the box. But these airplanes are much more like a toy. But if you want to get started in radio-controlled model aviation, the TrainStar Epoch is the best choice. Sure, you need to do a little bit more work and buy some extra equipment, but that's what it takes if you want to take this seriously. With that said, let's take the airplane out of the box and start putting it together. The airframe is made out of EPO foam, which is very strong and lightweight. The fuselage is made out of plastic, it's very flexible and it can take a lot of damage. Now there are 2 versions, the kit and the PMP. For the kit version you need to buy your electronics, and for the PMP is plug and play, means that everything's included, except for your radio and maybe the receiver. I'm gonna use my FlySky radio and receiver for this airplane, and it's going to be very easy. I had some trouble putting together the empennage or the tail surfaces, which are composed of a plastic piece and then the horizontal and vertical stabilizers, and they're joined by screws. But these screws have to be put in carefully. Maybe using a screwdriver of your own, because the one included in the kit tends to wear out the screw heads, losing the ability to tighten the screws. So I had to use a little bit of glue to finish this work. And several other problems like this arise during the process. Like one of the screws for attaching the wing wasn't working, but the other 3 were working, so that was enough. Also, the nose cone and propeller are not correctly balanced, so it produces a little bit of vibration when you use the motor. But it won't be a big deal because the vibration is just acceptable. The landing gear is very easy to put in, and also the tail wheel. And with a little bit of patience I went through all of the little problems and I was ready. Now I'm going to stick the graphics and that will be it. And here I am, in the flying field. Now it's time to fly it, and I'm using a 3S 2000 mAh battery. After I connect the battery, I check the direction of the control surfaces, the center of gravity, and other minor checks to be sure that it's going to work. If you want to learn more about starting in this hobby, check out in the description below the online course on building and flying your own radio controller airplane for beginners. And it's time for the first flight. I'm going to launch it with my hand because the grass is too tall for this landing gear. And it's flying nicely. The only problem is that it's a little bit windy and turbulent, and this airplane doesn't like that. The airplane flies nice and is very maneuverable. It's actually similar to the size and behavior of the Joytrainer Mini that we built in a previous project, which is the same airplane we built in the online course. I also got the floats for an extra $40 plus shipping. So I'm going to replace the landing gear with these floats. This includes a rudder, that I think it's supposed to be like this, but this is pathetic, so I'm going to change it and do it my way. For that I will need another servo, which is going to be placed in one of the floats. These floats are not the best quality I've seen, but they do the job. And this is the place close to my house that I use to test this kind of airplanes. There is enough space to fly the airplane around, but I have to watch out for the trees. Also, I feel that the wind is a little bit strong for this airplane, so I have to be careful with it as well. And here we go. I did a quick test in the water and it was very controllable. Now it's time for the takeoff. It flies nice with the floats or pontoons attached to it. The wind was a little bit of a problem and a lot of turbulence. And then this happened. I wasn't quick enough to respond to a gust of wind that made the airplane go down too much, so I decided to don't panic and let it land on the water. But then some water got into the electronics of the airplane and it wasn't responding to throttle, so it was floating in the middle of the lake. All I had to do was wait for the wind to push the airplane to the shore where I could grab it again. The problem was this vegetation on the shore that wasn't going to let the airplane get close to me and grab it. I had to do what I didn't want to do. I had to get my feet wet, literally, and touch that nasty poison water and recover the airplane. And by the way, I also lost an RC boat trying to recover it with that boat. It got entangled with the vegetation, so I couldn't recover it, but I traded that boat for my airplane. Conclusions about this model airplane. I will recommend this airplane to anyone who wants to start in the hobby. It's got the best price for what you get, and it's got great flying characteristics, except that you have to avoid windy conditions, especially if you don't know how to fly. I like the compatibility with the pontoons, so you can try those, and they are really nice for flying over the water. Just remember to waterproof your electronics to avoid what happened to me. I still prefer the size and the feel of the TrainStar Ascent, which is a bigger airplane and flies better in windy conditions. Overall, the TrainStar Epoch is a good airplane to start in the hobby. If you want to buy it, I'll leave the link in the description below, and that's an affiliate link, so if you buy it, I'll get a commission and you will be supporting my work. I'll also leave the links of other recommended equipment if you are starting in the hobby. For now, I hope you enjoy it and find this video helpful. If you like model airplane aviation, please consider subscribing to this channel, and I'll see you in the next project.